Yeah, so hello everyone. Yeah, myself is Sachin Kumar. First of all, I would like to thank all the participants to join this session. And I also like to thank our today's speaker, Om Prakash. He is a product head in 360 Crowd and he has so many titles. He is in Salesforce MVP. He is a Lightning champion. He is a Motihari developer layer. He did so many tremendous work in his uh, journey, Salesforce journey. So I would like to thank Om again for sharing his knowledge with us. So guys, move. Can you please, Om? Can you please move to the next slide? So guys, these are our Twitter handlers. Yeah, this one. Okay. So guys, yes, this one. So guys, we are the New Delhi developer groups and we are in the Salesforce community since February 2016. This is our Twitter handler, twitter.com/New Delhi SFDC Doug. And this is our New Delhi Trailblazer group link bit.ly/New Delhi community. And we also have our New Delhi developer group website so that you can check each and every sessions on whatever the initiative we have taken into our website, that is newdelhisfdcdoug.com. Yeah, move to the next slide, Om. Yes, so New Delhi Developer Group has taken so many initiatives. So Impact Salesforce Saturday is one of them. Impact Salesforce Saturday is a series of online Saturday sessions. We have doing this couple of years. Actually, this program previously called as Virtual Salesforce Saturday, but now we have rebranded it to Impact Salesforce Saturday. You can find all our upcoming and post sessions on these links which we have provided. I will share these links later on the chat as well. Can you please move to the next slide? Yeah, Talent Central. So New Delhi Developer Group has recently taken one new initiative that is called Talent Central. It is a portal just like Naukri, Monster, Indeed. Basically, this portal is for that person who is looking the job in Salesforce ecosystem, like students, freshers who have started their journey to the Salesforce. Okay, so this is the portal where we have students and HRs as well. So currently hiring process is going on that one. So I will urge to each and everyone who is looking the job in Salesforce ecosystem, please go there and register yourself. This is the link talentcentralglobal.com. A mentorship channel. Mentorship channel is a platform which allows our mentor and mentees to connect them. This portal is basically for all who want to grow their career in Salesforce ecosystem. Like someone is looking for the higher position, like as a developer is looking for or a senior developer, architect level. So this portal will help them to grow their career in Salesforce system. We have experienced mentees who have their guided part. So using that part, you can increase our level in Salesforce system. So this is the link of that one, bit.ly SF mentorship center. Moving to the next slide. Yes, over to you, Om.
Okay, thank you very much, Sachin. So screen. Okay, I hope my screen is again visible now. So yeah, thank you, Sachin,
Yes,
for
Om.
introduction.
Thank you.
Okay, so hello everyone, very good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Om Prakash, a Salesforce MVP and Salesforce Lightning Champion. Once again, welcome and thank you to New Delhi Developers Group, Impact Salesforce Data team for having me today once again. So yeah, let's define some of the scope for our today's session. So as you are familiar with our session title, we are going to talk about the integration and various methods we have. So I hope you will have like good time with us today. After some talking and overview, we'll move for some hands-on, some practical learning, where we'll create a table in Postgres. Then we'll fetch the data, we'll view the data of those tables in our Salesforce org without copying, just like we'll use Salesforce Connect for proxy our data. So I hope you will have some basic understanding of Postgres, and we'll cover the PG admin, we'll discuss external objects. Before we begin, our favorite slide, any purchasing decisions should be based on current available features and functionalities. So if you joined our previous session last Saturday, then we discussed about the employee facing app, then customer facing apps. And last day, we have deployed one application on Heroku. That application was built in Lightning Web Component and Node.js. So we learned how to deploy the application quickly. We discussed all those things, why and how Heroku. So if you are willing to learn those things, ISA recording is already available on the New Delhi Developers Group website. You can go ahead and learn basics from there. So today, our goal is, we have our Salesforce org, right? We already have our customer facing app. Now, today's session is all about integration between the both, all about how the integration will be implemented by us and how we will choose the integration methods. So yes, we have various techniques, various methods, and we'll cover almost today and we'll understand in details. So if we talk about integration methods, it depends on various things. It can include our skill sets. It also depends requirement to requirement, which type of requirement do we have. So let's go ahead and I will try to cover almost thing today. So if you talk about the Heroku and Salesforce integration, so these are some of the methods, some of the techniques you can use. So we're going to talk everything about Salesforce Connect, Heroku Connect, callouts, and these things, RESTful API, Canvas, and yeah, platform events, and of course, MuleSoft, our one of the leading platform as service system. So let's begin one by one with the use cases as well. And feel free to ask any question you have. You can use the chat window, or I hope Sachin will share you a quick document you can put there. And if you see some question is already familiar to you, like your colleague or someone is asking, and you are already familiar, then please feel free to answer. So let's make the session something interactive. So yeah, you can use the chat window. You can also use our quick document for collaboration. And let's go ahead one by one. So just think, we have a customer facing app running on the Heroku and our CRM. We have all Salesforce CRM, world #1 CRM. Now our requirement is, don't copy the data, right? Means we have some data, some tables on external system on the Heroku application, and Salesforce admin, Salesforce user wants to view records in Salesforce, but they don't want the same record will create in Salesforce. Just a proxy. We are going to use proxy here. We are going to view the data. Data will be processed in external system. Of course, here Salesforce Connect is powerful tools, powerful techniques of Salesforce. So with help of Salesforce Connect, we will learn how can we sync the data in real time without copying. So today's demo will be focused on this. Data can be in Open Data Protocol, it can be SOAP based, it can be XML or JSON data sources, no matter. We will consume with help of Salesforce Connect in Salesforce. In Salesforce, when you use Salesforce Connect, we have very cool options. You know, if data is OData 2 or OData 4, then we can integrate with, you know, in declarative way. We don't even need to write some piece of code. Today we will see that. And of course, any Heroku app can give us some endpoints because Heroku app is developed in open source language, any language. So we can consume those endpoints with help of Salesforce Connect in our Salesforce. So this is something about proxy data. We're not going to copy anything. Heroku Connect, again, another cool plugin on Heroku, adds on Heroku. So our next session is totally focused on Heroku Connect and adds on, but yeah, we were talking about the integration methods. So how can we forget Heroku Connect? This time, I think our use case is different. Let's see, we have a shopping website. Customer is experiencing their shopping experience on that website. So of course we have order, we have pricing, and all data, all tables are there on the Heroku. With the same data, with the same customer data, same product data, same pricing, our internal team in Salesforce, they are also working. They are also doing some internal processing. So here, it might possible that we need full access of complete data in both org. Means here we need to copy the data. If some table are on on Heroku, then we need to use that in Salesforce. Similarly, some data in Salesforce, we need to access that in Heroku in a real time. Or yeah, of course, we'll talk more about this, like how can we set full intervals. So here, with help of Heroku Connect, we will make the integration either one-way integration or it can be two-way, totally our choice. Again, this will be very easy, like you can do, and we'll experience in next session. Just we discussed in previous slide. One second, let me go on previous slide. In previous slide, we discussed we will consume the external data source that can be OData or any of these in Salesforce. So one more features of Heroku Connect is that with help of Heroku Connect, we can expose the Heroku Postgres database endpoints like wrapper of those data, and those endpoints can be consumed from Salesforce with help of Salesforce Connect. Very clear. Salesforce Connect is going to consume the external data in Salesforce. And Heroku Connect is used for data replication, like one-way sync or two-way sync. But Heroku Connect also provides one feature that's called data proxies. We just understand data proxies in Salesforce Connect. So today we will also learn how can we expose our database, our tables to Salesforce org. So in today's demo, we'll learn how to expose those Postgres tables and how to consume those tables in Salesforce. Now, as I discussed, this can be a business to consumer apps. As I told, shopping portal is totally, business to consumer. Very, very lovely feature this is. If you are using Heroku Connect, no worry for the API limits. You are from Salesforce, then you are aware. We have daily API limit in Salesforce, right? We have given those APIs, like how many APIs we can use in 24 hours. So if you are using Heroku Connect, then no need to worry because it's whitelist. And we can go ahead without API limit. Call outs. All Salesforce developer, I can say you are almost familiar with. Workflow. In workflow, we have outbound message. So we are doing some work in Salesforce. Okay, this is totally separate again. This is your third technique you are talking today in scope. So you are working in Salesforce, and we have some partial updates and some we need to say, send some info outside, like okay, whenever a contact record is updated, we need to send some information on external system. We need to update something there, and anything can be written that side. So new outbound message in a workflow rule, we have a new action, then you can see the new outbound message. And when you click this new outbound message, you have option to give the endpoint URL, and that endpoint URL will be, URL of the external API running on Heroku system, and you can call it in a declarative way. So outbound message call SOAP API call. You can also pass session ID from Salesforce there, so that with help of that session ID, your Heroku app can call back you. So this is in terms of declarative approach. Now think, we are a developer, almost developer here. Sometimes we need more customization. I mean, we need more complex logic. Before calling API, you have to check some log business processing. You have to write some logic, and once logic is happening, then you need to send some JSON data or any of the data on external system. You are familiar, we use Apex HTTP REST callout. Like you can see simple handler class here, one class, and in this class endpoint URL, I am taking it from another class, this is the class, and something I am passing, and I'm taking one URL for this requirement, and that endpoint URL is here request, like instance of HTTP request, then request.set endpoint, request.set method, post, get, and other methods we have. So we can define the method, we can define the header, our external API or external URL, which we are going to call, accept which format. So no worry for that. You are going to use this URL. This URL provider will help you with that. Maybe I am also a developer of that URL, endpoint URL. I am familiar what I am accepting. I am accepting post or get. Okay. So I am also familiar which content type I am using. If you are not familiar, then you need to contact with this endpoint application, like that application developed by some developers. So you need to contact that developer, which of course today we are talking about Heroku deployment. So this is the method you can simply call out. And here I'm not using HTTP response, but yeah, you can use the HTTP response similar to HTTP request, and with help of that instance, you can also take the responses. So the goal of this one was callouts, either using the outbound message or by using the REST class, REST API callout. And just for a little briefing, this is future, because I am assuming this method, this class will be called from a trigger. So if this method will be called from trigger, then we need to give callout equal to true. I'm taking body from the trigger. So you can explore, we have very tailhead module Apex callouts. So you can go ahead and explore more. And now we talk about the callouts. Means from Salesforce org, we are calling external system which is on Heroku. Now we will have also some requirements. We are using our Heroku application. We are going to do some changes, and that time we need some info in Salesforce. Okay, we already discussed today about the data replication, data proxies, but in this use case, in this requirement, we don't need entire data, right? We need to push some info in Salesforce. Okay, so we have Salesforce REST APIs given by Salesforce platform. Of course, we can call those API from any of your open source language, and yeah, integration happened. So if you are looking for a quick start, then no need to do everything from the scratch. We have a Quick Force node for JavaScript and Quick Force Java library for Java. Just simply you need to Google it. You will find those GitHub repository, and it will go ahead, deploy on the Heroku and start integrating with like minor changes. And even you can go ahead, develop your own from scratch. So totally fine. Just for informational purpose here, we can consume a standard Salesforce REST API from Heroku side. So let's see how it happens. Our standard Salesforce REST API will access the Salesforce data. So we need to authenticate Salesforce. So we have connected app. With help of connected app, we can authorize, we can authenticate our Heroku application user. So what happened? Let's talk little basics. We create one connected app. Connected app is a powerful framework in Salesforce, which can be used for multi-purpose. Whenever name say everything connected. Whenever we talk about connection of two systems, connection of two platform, go ahead with connected app. So we create a connected app. In that connected app, we have option API enable all setting. We can enable that setting. Then it gives us consumer key, consumer secret. And with help of this consumer key, consumer secret, authentication and authorization process happened from external system, external application. Let's say if you are talking about JavaScript or in Java, then from there we can authorize with our Salesforce. With help of this consumer key, consumer secret, we will generate one access token. Then separate process for that, and that access token can be used for communicating with Salesforce. So we can generate access token. We can also generate refresh token. So little bit difference here. Let's talk about that as well. Access token will expire after that timeout, but refresh token will not expire immediately. I can say you can store the refresh token in some secure way, in a encrypted format somewhere in your database. And with help of that refresh token, you can always exchange or access token. With help of refresh token, you can take a new access token from Salesforce. If a refresh token is valid, then you will get a access token, and with help of that access token, you can again communicate with Salesforce. So here, just think, if you are using a Heroku application, you are using external application, you need to perform some changes, perform some action in Salesforce, just call a standard REST API from there. Also, sometimes our external application requires Salesforce login. So if you have some custom UI for Salesforce login, yep, you need to go with you can use the Salesforce REST API. So we have just, once again, we just covered two things, call outs, like from Salesforce to outside. I can also add one use case here. Suppose we are going to, you have written some logic there for some verification purpose, and maybe some image scalability or anything. Then you can call from there, Salesforce to outside. Here we are talking outside, and it means from Heroku to Salesforce. Means you are doing some logic outside, and you need to perform some action in Salesforce. So very clear, Salesforce API and call outs, just vice versa. Now we are going to talk for Canvas. So here, something different story. What happened? We have already one running app on Heroku, a very cool UI we developed, and we want to call that UI, that page in our Salesforce org. So with help of Canvas, you can call. What happened here? It's will be very similar. Like you can also in your Visual Force page, like you can create, you can call external UI in iframe, right? Same concept used here. Means we can Canvas also use iframe in the backend, but advantage is it communicate in secure way. How it secure the application? Again, just we discussed connected app. Here in the same connected app, where you are going to create a new connected app. In that connected app, we have Canvas setting. So you can mark this true. Then you need to give the URL, which app you are going to access. You also need to give one callback URL for authentication purpose. You can give that URL. You need to define the access method. That access method can be signed request or it can be auth flow. You need to choose according to your use case, according to your implementation, and where you can view those applications in Salesforce. So these are some places: chatter feed, chatter tab, console, even you can see Visual Force page, Lightning component. All these areas are available where you can view our application. So just you need to choose, and this is from the connected app Canvas setting. So if you want to explore more, if we go on in the Salesforce, you will type in the quick find Canvas, then Canvas previewer page will be opened. You can start quickly with some samples. There are some samples application template there. You can build your own Canvas application that is running application running on Heroku, and you can view that application in the Salesforce and you can interact. So here our use case is if our application has some custom UI, of course, custom UI application is running on Heroku, we can access those in Salesforce. We are talking about the integration of two systems. So, yep. If you're familiar, awesome. If you're not, we have very nice Trailhead module for the Salesforce platform events on Trailhead. Please go ahead and explore. Whenever you are looking to develop an application which will be based on event-driven functionality, like you are going to make your Heroku application as consumers or maybe producers. Then also you can also declare your Heroku application. You can write the functionality that your application will be also work as consumer. They will also work as a producer of events, and you are familiar. And Salesforce platform events provide us the ability. So with help of that, you can also interact with your internal component in Salesforce as well as any external component or external system. So platform events is also your choice. Here you are going to rely on, you are going on, to depend on event-driven approach, event-based approach. How can we forget MuleSoft, the world's #1 integration platform as service? So in MuleSoft, we can create API. We can, of course, we can generate our own API. We can develop our own API. MuleSoft also provide us pre-built connectors that can connect with Salesforce and SAP or any other external applications. It also provides you full life cycle management of API. So when you are going to develop, you are working for Heroku and you need to develop some APIs. You don't want to do everything from scratch, but you want to utilize the power of MuleSoft platform. Those API can be developed from the MuleSoft, and you can consume those API from Heroku. And as mentioned earlier, your MuleSoft is already talking with Salesforce. So Salesforce, MuleSoft, Heroku, all are connected. But if you are looking for direct only Salesforce and Heroku, then of course we discuss some approaches, Heroku Connect, Salesforce Connect, and other approaches, right? So what is takeaway for these methods? Whenever you are going to work for API and integration, we need to think in long approach, like longer view, long goal. Maybe you are not familiar and you are going to build integration between, you are not familiar that your client is already using MuleSoft and maybe they are planning for use MuleSoft, right? And you are going to do lots of things from scratch. So why not utilize the power of the system? Okay, so the main goal, and we suggest all developer, we should at least understand and know each and every methods available. If you're not possible to learn and understand each and everything, then try to almost think. So yeah, these are some of the basic talk and discussion for the choosing Heroku and Salesforce integration techniques. Now, yeah, time to go and see something in action. So let's go for some demo. Again, our demo is beginner focused. So if you are very beginner for database, Postgres things, then I am sure this will be very helpful. If you have a good knowledge, then of course it will also helpful for you. See, we still learn and relearn. So let's go. As mentioned earlier, what is our use case of today? Today, we are going to create one database. We are going to create one table on Heroku application. Then we'll enter some data. We'll input some data there. Manually, we will do today, and I will explain that approach as well. Then we will view those data in Salesforce with help of already discussed Salesforce Connect. So first thing, let me go on the Heroku dashboard. Remember last day we have logged in on this id.heroku.com. So these are some of the application. If you remember last day we have developed this application, Impact Salesforce Saturday session. Let me check this application is still running, of course. But in this demo, in this application, I told you, I am using these data like these, name of the session, name of the speaker, and these things from the JSON. Means these data are coming from JSON. We don't have database yet on our application. So this is our application we developed last day. Okay. So first thing, we need to attach one database to our application. Okay. So go on the resources. From here, you can ads on or you can simply understand. It will help you with the ready-made built-in tools available in the marketplace of Heroku. You can provision those in your application. We will again have a dedicated session for this ads on and Heroku Connect next Saturday. I should say next to next Saturday, because next Saturday, next Saturday. You can see the date on the deliverable group side. So I am going to add one add-on that will be given by Heroku for Postgres database. So let me type Postgres. You can see Heroku Postgres. Okay. So Postgres is one database. I am going to use free plan. That's hobby though free. And one more thing. Last day we worked from command line. So you can also provision from command line. Means you can also add some from command line. We'll understand next day. But for now, I came on this dashboard. I went to resource section under my application. I clicked Heroku Postgres and I clicked provision. Heroku Postgres is attached as database to my application. Let me verify one good thing here. When you click on setting, and when you check the config variables, we have already one database URL config were added with the URL of this Postgres database means in our application, this config variable will be used. Okay, separate thing. But for now, our goal of the day is we have added one Heroku Postgres database to our application. Click on the same. It's loading, no worry. Of course, it will take few minutes. Yeah, that's good. Heroku Postgres database is available here. When I go to the setting, this time that setting was our application setting, and this setting was our this Postgres database setting. Here, if we click view credentials, you can see the host for that database, username, password, database name, of course, full URI and something Heroku CLI. With help of this, you can also work on your database from the command line. But today, I am covering much of things from the UI part. So what we did, we have created one database. We have provisioned the Heroku Postgres database. This application, our application is attached with that. What we can do, we need a table. In Salesforce, we say object. In our outside of the world, we say table. So many of you are already familiar with SQL, Oracle, and other tables and database. So here we are on the Postgres database. So I need to create a table. Of course, we can create by help of a command line. But today, I'm going to use one tools that's called pgadmin. By the various tools you can use for the same. Here I'm going to use pgadmin. So what I did, simply go to Google, find out pgadmin. You will go to the pgadmin official website. We need to install one pgadmin. So it's very similar to PHP My Admin, if many of you familiar. So with help of pgadmin, let me open that application. Here is pgadmin 4 installed on my local machine, not on application. pgadmin is local machine. I am going to connect my newly created database locally on my machine with help of pgadmin, and we will create some tables. So we are also going to learn how to create tables. That's why I have not already created this. Okay, I wanted that we have some beginners, so you should at least learn how to create tables on Postgres. So as I explained, we have various ways. I am going to create with help of pgadmin tool. So when we install this application, then it will ask you one master password for your security purpose. To give that password, but I have already installed earlier, so I am only going to authorize with my password. Okay, so you will install the pgadmin. Once you will open the pgadmin, then it will look like this. What we need to do, go on server, click create server. Give a name. I'm going to give a name. Okay, that's fine. That's Salesforce Saturday. Oh, that's good. Server needs some connection. It's asking you host name. And remember, on our Postgres database, just we go to setting, then we already host for our application. So copy this host name, paste it where? There. Let me drag this nearby. That's good. Host name, port is 5432. Yeah, that's good. Maintenance database. Here our database. Copy this database name, paste in the database, and also go to the advanced and use the same database name here as well. So what happened on this server, like on this host, multiple database can be there, but we are using this database. Our name came from our Heroku Postgres database in this. So I have given only this database. This will be show here. Other can also show if we remove this, but that is in not connected mode. That will just visible. So restrict them. We need to add that so we can see only our database there. Username. So you can see the username here. Let me copy that username. Password. See our password and save it. I will suggest please keep with us with this demo. This will be very helpful, especially whenever you are thinking some approach in future. So we have connected here. Okay. So Impact Salesforce, I've given a name for here, local connection. Now in the database, you can see this database, our own database. Okay. If we click on schema, there is already public schema available. Click on the schema, click on public, right click, pgmyadmin give us ability so that we can create tables. So you can see the other options here. You can draw schema and other tools here. You can create various things. You can create a table here. So create table from here, or the same thing, just go on the tables. You can see all available tables here inside. So our fresh database, so we don't have any table. So click, right click, create table, same thing, tables. I'm going to create one table that will hold this info, session topic name and speaker name. Okay, we can go for date, but for now I'm going to create 2 fields. Give a name is, let me create one unique ID first. Okay, so that we can identify each session uniquely. So the field name is meetup ID. Yeah, that's good. Meetup ID. Columns, it will be integer. Okay, 1 second. Sorry, we don't need to create. First, we'll create table. Then we'll go and create the column. So give a name meetup directly. Name meetup. That's fine. And columns, leave this blank. Simply create save. So we have created one table. Firstly, we will not create column. Firstly, we will create table. Similar to in Salesforce, what we do, we go ahead, we create one Salesforce object, then we create new fields. So yes, here I am also creating one new table. Table name is meetup. In the meetup, we have various columns. So now we can create the columns that will be session name, speaker name, etc. So we have created this table on our live server. Okay, just we are connected locally, but we are connected on our Heroku applications database. Columns, create column. Now give the name of column. Now I should give meetup ID. And while creating column, we need to choose field type. Which type of field? In Salesforce, we create the field, then we need to choose it will be integer or it will be a string. There we have text like text, number, something. So here, this will be integer. Integer field. That's fine. That will be unique for our each record. Create one more column here. Column. This will be session topic name. Topic name. Definition. Of course, it should be text. The same thing. I'm choosing the text for holding the topic name. Save it. And one more column I want, that will be our speaker name. Speaker, and definition will be again text. Done. Okay. Let me create one primary key, primary key, which will be identify our record in a unique way. So click on constants. We need to create one primary key. So you can click primary key. You can also define primary key while creating a fields, but no worry. Then I'm going to create a primary key from here. Give a name ID and which field. So you need to define our, our ID is number. So I'm going to choose that field here for the primary key. Okay. So you can choose other fields as well, but I am just going to choose our meetup ID as a primary key. So save, it will create a primary relationship internally. So we have finally one table with meetup and 3 columns. Time to insert some records. What we can do, click on tables and you can see steps for insert steps. And directly right here, insert into table name, then define the values. So a script will be generated to help you, but we can either use this script or what happened, nobody will generate. Either you can use this script, yeah, you can define the values here and you can insert, or we have also option to import or export. So for this demo, of course I am prepared for this demo. So I have already one CSV file. Let me choose import. Choose the file name, means we are going to import data from the CSV file. Here I have Heroku session info CSV file. Let me choose select, and if you go to column, here if you're familiar with data import wizard in our Salesforce, right? Similar concept here. So I need meetup ID, topic name, speaker column. Done. Okay. It will export the CSV file from my data, my CSV file in my database. So let me check quickly. Let me show you the same data file in CSV. One second. Nothing, just very basic. CSV. This is my CSV file. So we can see I have in first row just unique number 1, 2, 3, 4 I have given just for reference, and I have given all our 4 session name and then the speaker name. Okay, let me close this because we have already used the import wizard there. Record is already there. Let me go ahead, and yes, it's success. Means on our Heroku, in our database, we have added some records. So all row. So you can see the data from CSV file has been added to our application. So here, this is our manual data import. But what happens in real time? You know, application will be used by the end users, and they can create, your logic can create the record. But for now, I have written manually the records. Now coming on the integration, what happened? We need to access these Postgres data in Salesforce. Till now, there is no any connection with Salesforce because we are on a Heroku application. I discussed today about the Salesforce Connect. With the help of Salesforce Connect, we can consume the data. We can view the data of external system, and Heroku Salesforce Connect, not Heroku. Salesforce Connect can also consume the OData, Open Data Protocol data sources. I also talked Heroku Connect on the Heroku help us to produce the open data source of OData type. So I am going to take help of Heroku Connect here for creating the data source. Okay, no worry, I'm not going to cover much for Heroku Connect because next session is dedicated for that. But I am going to provision Heroku Connect. When you type connect, then it will come. Sorry, Heroku Connect provision the same, like same means you have provisioned already Heroku Postgres earlier. So I am going to provision the Heroku Connect here. Okay, click on the Heroku Connect. And with help of Heroku Connect, we can create Heroku external object. We can produce a OData open source, OData data source. You can read the details here about the Heroku external objects as we discussed earlier. Now we need to set up it. We have not set up it now. So go on the overview, click setup connection. It will ask you to create one schema. That's fine. By default name Salesforce schema. But today, when schema, you remember, if I go to PG admin, then our schema name was public. Okay. Similarly, it will create another schema. So give a name, by default name, Salesforce. That's good. Click next. Okay. Next, yeah, click on that database URL, that config variable. Means that config variable will be used here. Config variable which we created earlier with help of Postgres. So this is asking you to authorize with Salesforce. But remember, we are not going to use the today data replication. We don't need to worry for this. I'm going to be skipping this because I need to use the Heroku Connect in today's session for generating OData. So I will skip the Salesforce authentication. Go on the external object. When you visit this external object first time, then it will ask you to create some credential. So yeah, create, which will be used for authentication. And you can see we have this service URL, which is type of OData 4, which I talked earlier, and format is JSON. It has ability to read write, means internally it will handle all the thing according to REST API, but we will only see the capability of this OData protocol and capability of how Salesforce Connect is going to help us. So if you scroll down below, you can see data sources. Means when someone will access this OData URL, which tables you are going to give access. So remember, I am creating meetup table. So I am going to share this meetup table. Means check this true. Your other table will be available here. So when you choose it true, then this object, yeah, in terms of Salesforce, we say object, but here it is table. So this meetup table will be exposed via this service URL. Time to use this service URL in Salesforce. Let me go to the Salesforce setup, then type here external Salesforce external data sources. So for using external objects, we need to define external data source here. You can see the definition one-liner: access data in your Salesforce org as well as third-party database. So I am accessing from other database, Heroku Postgres database, which is on Heroku. Create new external data source. Let me copy this service URL. Let me go nearby. Okay, that's fine. Give a name. I'm going to give any name. Meetup demo. Type will be, remember, OData 4, because this is OData 4. URL, we already have URL. Paste it here. Scroll down. Format JSON. Yeah, that provides JSON. That's cool. Identity type named principal. So we have some key token value here. You can see show credential. Where on the Heroku? So credential means with help of this credential username password, I can access this service URL. So copy this username from here. I have username principal, then password authentication. We have username password, and since this username password is generated one, right? We can reset this. So I have chosen named principal. Okay, this is not a original username password. This is named principal concept. So let's put the username. Also, let's copy the password. Let's put the password here, and we have option to choose writable external object. Means we are going to access our external object here. Do you want that if I change in Salesforce on the same reference, because data is not copied here, right? If you change something in Salesforce, then it will automatically update it there. So you can give writable external object. Again, that this is not going to copy data. The same data will be referenced here. Click save. We need to validate and sync. if the authentication will be success, if everything correct, then yes, everything good. We can see our public schema, then meetup table. Meetup table inside the public schema. Select this, click sync. Means now our external schema, that table is synced in Salesforce, and external object created automatically. You can go ahead on this external object manager, open here. You can go here, you can do some changes, you can modify the name. So let's make some meaning, some some names as per our choice. So I'm going to set up external object. Of course you can do from there, but yeah, I wanted to come here. External object, same link, edit, similar to you change on the object. Here I'm going to change the external object. So give a name, meetup. Okay, meetups, that's fine. Cool, save. For accessing a custom object, we need a tab, right? Similarly, we need a tab to access this external objects. Let's create one tab. Go to tab, tabs, new tab, object is meetup, external object. Keep a tab style anything, no worry, that's good. Next. Okay, tab is saved, means we can find the tab meetup in Salesforce. What happened? Once again, meetups tab. That's good. We should have meetup tabs, right? Meetups tab here. If I go to the all, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me modify this list view first. View our fields. We need a meetup ID. We can see the speaker name. We can see anywhere. And let me refresh this display URL. Okay, but no worry, that's good. So these are our data, which is available on the external on our Heroku application. You will put the username password already here. So you can see the speaker name, topic name, everything here. Data is on our Heroku Postgres database, but we can access from Salesforce. Now, here we have our speaker name, right? So let's go on the contact. Speaker Om Prakash IT means Om Prakash is contact here, right? And it can be any object. So go to contact. Go to my record. If I go to details, cool thing is that I have already have one Twitter name field on my contact object and whole Twitter name. Means when I go to setup object manager, when I go to the contact, so I have created one field. That field is external ID. Means while creating that field, I have marked external ID true, and of course it will be unique. So what is happening on our external object? There is a field that is speaker field which hold the Twitter name of speaker. In Salesforce on our contact, we have one external ID type of field that also hold Twitter name. Why not link that automatically? Yes, that will be super cool. If you click here, you open the speaker record. So go on the setup. Means you can understand we need to create one lookup relationship. We need to create one field on external objects. So yes, setup, then external object. Meetup is our external object. Let's create new field here. Field will be in direct lookup relationships. Why? Because we are going to relate external record with Salesforce object. That can be a standard object, that can be custom object with help of one external ID field. Next, contact. This external object will relate to contact, subject contact, and there might be a question why other object is not here, because on other object I have not created any external field yet. So once you create one external ID unique field on the objects, they are visible here. So I have created on a contact already to save a few minutes, few seconds I should say. Next, target field Twitter name. Means we are going to relate this external object with contact. So which target field, on which basis? Then that is our Twitter name. I show you. Choose the Twitter name. That's cool. Twitter name field on contact, but we need to give the name of that column. That column was in our table here. External column name. So if I go back, you can see that is speaker. You can go and object manager, you can save from there. So this is speaker basically. So you know already, right? You can go on the external object. When you click here, then the name of the field is speaker. Copy this speaker and put here. External column name is speaker. Field label you can change speaker profile or something, just speaker, that's fine. Give a length 50. I think Twitter has maximum 50. Twitter name can be 50, so that's fine. You can change 50. I have defined the speaker like external column name here. In previous screen, I have defined the field of our contact, which is external ID type. Mark this visible for all profile. You can decide where you need to show or not. Add on the layout, of course, very common. Keep it default, save it. Now go on the meetup records again. I mean on meetup tabs again. Let me go to the all. Let me add those edit field to display. Let me add the speaker as well here. Okay. That's fine. That's for the topic name speaker. Save it. And you can see on the basis of this, here is our indirect lookup relationship. Means we can directly access that our Salesforce object records from there. So what we did, we have just defined a indirect lookup relationship. Remember, we have added something called write table true. Let me change something and let me modify, open this. Let me modify the topic name. This is in edit mode because while creating data source, I have given the write table. So save it. Now, let's me go visit our PG admin tools where we are viewing the data. Let me open the tables. View data all row, and we should see real changes happened on this. Means if I notice here, you can see the exam preparation added as a suffix here. Means the changes happening on our Heroku database tables, and this is one of the proxy. We are going to access those data from here. So now it's time to go ahead and prepare the similar demo with you, like by your own. So we have covered in our demo how to use the Heroku Connect to prepare OData data source and how to use Salesforce Connect to access those data in our Salesforce org. Time to do some hands-on by yourself. So we have I have shortlisted some of the modules, especially focused on our today's demo and trade session. So this is Salesforce and Heroku integration on Trailhead. You can simply go on a Trailhead and search this. And by the way, here's the link. You can take the screenshot of this. You can learn more about connected app with this Trailhead module. You can learn more about the Salesforce Connect here. And you want to explore all the integration. Of course, this is our Trailhead module. And this is our Deo Center resource page, which I have taken in our previous demo. You can go ahead and build your something and explore some more about the integration things. So yeah, I think that's all from my side, our side in our today's session. I think we are on time, so thank you very much. I will text. You can connect me on the like social media channels, and of course we'll discuss some questions here. So I can see that time is good, but yeah, let's move for the quiz. And in the parallel, I am going to take the questions, and during the interval of 2 quiz questions, we'll take one by one. So feel free to share your questions here. So yeah, thank you very much once again. Sachin, it's all like your turn. It's for you. Please go ahead and start the quiz. I'm going to access the questions in the chat window. Next session is our again Heroku Connect, but that time Heroku Connect for replication of our data. We'll access and we'll create some one directional, bi-directional integration that day. And yep, and more about the Heroku add-on. We'll explore some of the add-on and we'll access from our application, of course. So yep, thank you very much. So yeah, Sachin, please take it forward. And I'm going to access.
Thanks, Om.
Thank you.
Thanks, Om, for sharing these
Thank you very much.
Cool demo and told us about the Heroku Connect and how we can connect Salesforce with the Heroku. So the demo was very cool.
Thank you.
Okay, again, thank you very much. So guys, please put your questions in this sheet so that Om Prakash will answer these questions. So
sure.
I'm going
here.
Yes.
And one thing
so
I want
I'm going.
You can see one thing I want. Excuse me. I have added Twitter name here so that our organizer can thank you on Twitter for your question and answer here. Yep.
Sure. Yes,
Okay.
please add your Twitter name as add. Yeah. I'm going to start. Let me share my screen.
Let me compose the questions as well here. And anyone can please help. If you see some questions in this, then you can copy this question and simply put in this our set. Okay.
Okay. Let me share my screen, Om.
Awesome. Thank you. So, okay. Status is 5. Question is, yeah, please go ahead.
Let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Yes, I can see your screen now.
We can see.
Yeah. So guys, please join this www.kahoot.it. This is the game pin. And I will request to each and everyone, please put your proper name. Don't put like Dell, iPad, something like that.
So first question is, status 503 and protocol HTTPS. So you want to understand, I guess, can this text? You want to understand like what is the status and what is the protocol HTTPS here? Basically 503 is, like service is not available something. And I'm mute or I'm not? Yeah, I'm good.
Yes, Om, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay, so we need to, I guess we need to convert that in JSON. So how many players are there? You can start now. Sachin, you can start the game.
Yeah, there are 33 people have been joined. Let's wait for 1 more minute.
But I see your stable screen like something. Can you please stop and share again? And can you please confirm anyone, which is it for me or everyone? I can see, the screen
Sure,
of
sure.
Heroku dashboard. Sorry, Kahoot dashboard.
Let me share it again.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, now I can see 33 players. Yeah.
Yes, 33 players are there. So let's wait. So I think we can start. Anybody is facing any issue? I don't think so. Anyone is facing any issue. Okay, now I'm going to start. Here is the first question is coming. Proxy external data into Salesforce, and the options are Salesforce Connect, Connected App, Salesforce Console, Salesforce Apps. I think this is the simple one. Yes, 23 people gave the correct answer. Let's see who is leading. Krishna Kumar, Arvind and Akash is following. Data
So
source can be
Sachin,
pulled into say.
yeah,
Sorry.
please go ahead. Yeah, while you are on a scoreboard, please wait for a few seconds. I will like discuss questions. Okay. Sure. Please go ahead.
Okay, sure,
Thank you.
sure. So these are the answers of these questions. Yes, Krishna Kumar, Nihal and Akash. Yes, Om, go
Okay,
ahead.
please, yeah, so that's fine. Okay, so there was one question, status 503 and protocol HTTPS. So this is basically, when status is coming 503 means service is not available, something happened wrong on the server, we need to check the log. And protocol HTTPS means we are using the secure one, okay? And second question is, yeah, I will need to check this in details. Like question is for event bus dot publish not convert into JSON. So okay, I will update the answer there very soon. Next one is how can we, yeah, please go ahead. Akash,
Sure.
Akash, can you please confirm one thing? If you are around, you can help me. How can you show post this data on Heroku app UI is static from JSON? So as I understand this question basically means you want to access the data in your app. So suppose if you are using the Node.js, then in Node.js we can connect with our database because we have already Heroku database. If you are using other application like other language, then maybe Java, then we can also communicate with the Postgres. We have environment variable there already. So I hope this is question. If not, you can text me and we'll cover. Yeah, please go ahead next.
Sure, Om. Here is the next question. Data sync does not count against Salesforce API limits. And these are the options: SOAP API, REST API, Heroku Connect, outbound APIs. Yeah, 24 people give the correct answer. That's great. Let's see. Saurabh Shukla is now reading. Unidirectional or bidirectional sync can be done by using Heroku Connect, Heroku Marketplace, custom app development, or none of them. I think you have discussed this in demo as well.
And only one option is visible to me here.
Yes. 29 people give the correct answer.
Awesome.
I think, yes,
Four
people
people
is
has
more
confused.
focused on demo.
Maybe 4 people has confused and maybe they have clicked in hurry. So this Heroku
Yeah.
Marketplace. But yeah, Heroku Marketplace is, we need to download from there. So maybe.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. So yeah, one question was for Trello module. Yeah, I will put all Trello module link there very soon. Yeah, by the way, I'm going to put this.
So workflow rules for declarative making SOAP calls, Apex, outbound messages, send email, update record.
Declarative, one word for everyone.
Yes. Sorry for that one.
Yes, that's okay. So Apex is not declarative, it's programmatic.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Saurabh, now I understand your question. Okay, that's fine. Now I understand your question. I see the chat window. Okay, so 1 second, Sachin. So basically,
Sure.
app crashed. So when you visit the application, then you will have one command, I should say, to access the log. You can copy that command and you can check from the log, and yes, you have taken it from log itself. So that's fine. Your app is crashed due to some reason. Just you need to scroll a little bit up and you can see which plugin was not installed there. Okay, this is the final error message. Just scroll a little up on the Heroku, in the log, and you can see something happened wrong prior to this line, prior to this error message. Something might happened wrong, and you can figure it out from there. If it's still issue, after this session, we can connect for 5 to 10 minutes and we can figure it out very quickly. So, okay, yeah, please continue.
Sure. Yes, the next question is, DA provides a comprehensive REST API that can be called from a Heroku application, that is Salesforce platform, Heroku Connect, Salesforce Connect, or Canvas. I don't know the answer of this question. Maybe most of the people know the answer of this question. I hope. Oh, 13 people know the answer of this question, Salesforce platform. Okay, let's move ahead. Who is leading? Anuj and Ramsey is now leading, following with Krishna. Om, can I go ahead?
Yeah, sure. So Lakshya asked me to share the URL. So yes, I have shared the URL in the chat window. I'm also going to put this in our sheet as well. And yeah, meanwhile, I'm checking the all message. Please go ahead. Yeah, continue, Sachin.
Sure.
So this is something save our common times, of course.
Yeah. So, provides a powerful technique for integrating internal components within a Salesforce app. Heroku Connect, Salesforce Connect, Salesforce platform event, Heroku plugins. Tricky one. Okay, 30 and 1. 11 people give the correct answer. Okay, Krishna is on fire. Very good, Krishna. Good going. Is an integration pass, MuleSoft, Connected App, Canvas, pass. Oh, 23 people know the correct answer of this question. That's good. Let's see who is Ramsey. Mayank is leading, following with Krishna Kumar. Apex callout of programmatic making REST calls. Class, HTTP, page, CTI. I think this is the simplest. Everybody should know the answer of this question. I hope. Yes, 25 people know the correct answer. That's great. Okay. So now it's time to winner. Okay, Mayank is on 3rd position. Krishna Kumar is on 2nd position, and Ramsey. Congratulations for the
okay, so
winner.
I have congratulations. I have almost texted on all questions like one to one and in sheet. So if you think any one is unanswered, please feel free to text me. Yeah, please go ahead, Sachin. Sorry.
Yeah, congratulations for the winner. Yogesh, can you please take the email ID of Ramsey?
Yeah, sure, Sachin.
Again, I would like to thank our participants and our today's speaker, Om Prakash. And I would say that please go ahead on New Delhi Developer website and check our upcoming sessions. Our upcoming session on Heroku is on 15th of August. So which will deliver by Om Prakash. So please join this session.
Sachin, sorry to interrupt you. Our upcoming session is on 22nd of August.
Oh, sorry.
On 22nd,
Sorry
yeah,
for
right.
that. Yes.
Can you please repeat the question? It's confirmation, no?
Yeah, it's on 22nd of August.
22nd,
Yes.
right. Yes, you're right. So on 15th August, we don't have session. We thought maybe our participant will be in the celebration of Independence Day. So this session is on the 22nd now. Okay.
Sure. So please go ahead and check our website for the recording of this session or our previous sessions recording. So and
Thanks
go
everyone.
our.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, just thanks everyone.
Yes.
I see like some message like people have enjoyed the demo. So yeah, thank you very much. And feel free to put your question in the sheet. I have already shared. And don't worry, any basic question you can ask and we'll discuss, of course. So that will be takeaway. You will ask me the question, then takeaway. I have marked one question basically that I need to check. The question was like, event was not published. So I will check and update. Or rest all which I will familiar, I have put in there. Okay, yeah, please continue.
Yeah, please. I will urge to each and everyone, please go our Twitter handler and do post your photos which you have clicked in this session with hashtag Impact Salesforce Saturday and @ New Delhi SFDC Doug. So that will be good. Okay, I think that's it from my end. Thank you everyone. Thanks a lot,
Bye-bye.
and
Take
thanks
care,
Om
everyone.
Prakash.
Stay safe.
Thank you,
Yes.
everyone.
Thanks,
Thank you so
everyone.
much, Om, for such an amazing session.
Thanks,
Take
Om.
care.
Thank you.